Everyone has their off days, and recently I've been thinking about what helps me when my mental health isn't at its greatest. One of the things I like to do is play games, which shouldn't be too surprising considering I've started making videos about gaming. So I've decided to look at the games that I like to play and why I find them comforting. So here's 5 games that help improve my mental health. Now, I'm starting this list with something that's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty self-evident why Bloodborne is a calming game, and we can move right on to the next game on the list, isn't it? However, I am contractually obligated to give actual reasons, so here we go. Bloodborne is a game that's well known for being hard as nails and having dark Lovecraftian themes. This in and of itself should mean that this is far from the chillest game in the world. However, what gives this a spot on this list is how I feel whilst playing it. The game is pretty difficult, but it feels so good making progress. Managing to get through an area to the next lamp feels like tangible improvement. It's a great lesson in controlling your emotions, as it's incredibly easy to get in your own head and start tilting and get frustrated. There's something to be said about trying, dusting yourself off and giving it another go. It really helps that the game is balanced so well that most of the time, if you fail, you can see why and you want to be better. Which is something I try to do in real life too. On the other end of the spectrum, finally beating a boss that you've been struggling with for a long time feels amazing. When I'm feeling a little bit numb, this is the game to get my adrenaline going and blood pumping. It checks multiple boxes is what I'm saying.
What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
I really don't think a list about games that can help mental health can be complete without Stardew Valley. It is one of the greatest cozy games for a reason. It's so chill. There's no right way to play. It can be as stressful as you want to make it. Want to take your time and just enjoy being a farmer? No worries, here's a hoe and a scythe. Want to min-max and complete the community centre in year 1? No problem, it'll be difficult, but go for it. Want to spend the week earning enough gold to buy a shit ton of salads? Sure, and Leah will be happy. In times where I'm feeling like the world is way too big and I'm being swept away by the current, having something where I have control is incredibly therapeutic. I decide the pace and what I want to focus on. I create a checklist in my mind of what I want to do, and it's really satisfying ticking those boxes and accomplishing what I set out to do. It's also not just about the farming, fishing and mining. It's really fun to build relationships with the other characters in town and making it feel like you're part of a community. For me, Baldur's Gate 3 feels like coming home. I've played it through twice already and I'm on my 3rd run, which is saying a lot with a game so big. Do I go into the game thinking I want to do things completely differently this time? I want to do an evil playthrough? No, I will play through making the exact same choices except maybe trying to use persuasion instead of intimidation, although I have played a redemption dirge to spice it up a little bit. I mentioned it feels like coming home, which is because of the great writing and character development. Each character feels unique and has their own shit going on.
Get rid of them.
You won't start out loving every character, except Karlach.
Yes.
But it's so great when you finally break through their walls and understand why they think and act the way they do, which is especially helpful when I'm feeling a little bit lonely. The fact it is such a good game that I want to keep going back means I know what is going to happen and what I need to do. I know how the story makes me feel, which is comforting for me. Kind of like listening to the same song over and over again. I know what I need to do to make the outcomes I want happen. Sometimes I just want to throw a blanket over my shoulders, grab a hot chocolate and get lost in Faerun. Another cozy game on the list. Just like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game where you can take your time and do things at your own pace. The game specifically drip feeds things to you, forcing you to take your time. You're limited to a small part of your island until you hit certain milestones where you can get a ladder to go up higher and then a pole so you can hop over rivers. There are bugs and fish you can only find certain times of the day and year. It keeps you coming back. It becomes a routine where you log in every day to complete your daily tasks and maybe try to catch an elusive bug or find a decent piece of furniture at the shop. Routine can definitely help me when things feel out of control. Dang, maybe I'm just controlling. Something to help ground me, a little bit of time for me doing something I like. Once you open up terraforming, that's when you can really let your creativity shine and make the island your own. This also makes me feel good. Forming ideas in my mind and seeing them come to life. I would love to be able to draw really well, but as I struggle to like any of the art I make, I struggle to find the motivation to put in the hours that will actually make me an artist. I don't have that problem with Animal Crossing. It scratches my creative itch without all the negative self-doubt. So, as I was writing this list, I was umming and ahhing about whether to put a second FromSoft game. Then I thought, screw it, it's my list. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I like to pick this up when I have lots of thoughts running through my mind that I just can't get to quieten down and get louder and louder and louder until I want to curl up into a ball. The concentration that I need to play Sekiro is such that all of my focus is on being a silent shinobi, plotting my next move, memorising the routes guards take, and noting down all the exit points when it inevitably goes tits up and I have to grapple away, like a true hero. Whilst the focus on being sneaky can help quieten down my inner monologue, the boss fights is where this game really shuts it up. They are relentless and require so much concentration that no other thoughts can gain any traction. You try going into the Lady Butterfly fight and try to think about what you're going to have for dinner and it just can't be done. I can barely remember that I have snap seeds on my quick item menu, which is probably for the best as I hate wasting consumable items. I still haven't beaten the game yet, but one day I know I'll finally get Sword Saint Ishin and it will be a great day. So, those are 5 games I like to play when my mental health is in the toilet. They're pretty varied and work best when matched with a particular mood or feeling. If you have any games that you like to go back to when you aren't feeling great, leave a comment to let me know. Thanks for watching.